So my character, she's a powerful leader. She's a powerful leader. Yes. In a very woman-centered world, which I was very excited to kind of be in that, because I feel like Star Wars is very like patriarchal, so it was kind of cool to have like this sort of woman-centered figure.
A storm is brewing at Disney, and it's about to change everything. With CEO Bob Iger planning massive cost-cutting measures, the entire company, from Pixar to Marvel, is in for a shakeup. But what's really catching everyone's attention right now isn't just the financial decisions, it's the growing controversy over at Lucasfilm. And here's where it gets even more interesting. Actress Jodie Turner-Smith, star of The Acolyte, has been making headlines for all the wrong reasons, lashing out at fans and sparking intense backlash. Before we dive into all the details, don't forget to hit that subscribe button to stay updated on all the latest developments. Now, just a few days ago, one of the last remaining Star Wars spin-offs tied to The Acolyte, a project about the witches of Dathomir, was cancelled. Why? It all seems to stem from Turner-Smith's controversial remarks about Disney and the Star Wars fandom. After those comments, she was dropped from the project, and Lucasfilm has been in freefall ever since. But Turner-Smith isn't the only one making waves. Amanda Stenberg, another star of The Acolyte, has been quiet lately. But the frustration from Lucasfilm's side, especially from figures like Leslie Headland, continues to surface. Meanwhile, Disney itself is grappling with internal challenges and a high-profile lawsuit involving some big names. After being let go from Lucasfilm, Jodie Turner-Smith didn't hold back. In a recent statement, she expressed her frustration, saying, "We're dealing with an overwhelming amount of misogyny and sexism in this industry, and it's shocking to see how many studios fall for that kind of noise, which is always a minority. Like many of my peers, I believe there is a silent majority of fans who support projects labeled as controversial or criticized. In 2024, it's clear we need more female empowerment in both film and television. When studios strip away those opportunities, sometimes just for ratings, it shows they aren't committed to the cause. They're only interested in finances. It's disgraceful for studios to treat people like me this way. I fully support my feminist vision, and I believe what we did with The Acolyte was groundbreaking compared to George Lucas's original work. Our goal was to bring more female representation and highlight the LGBTQ+ community in a project of this scale. We gave it our all, but unfortunately, studios get caught up in the complaints of adults who criticize stories that promote women. It's childish and needs to stop." She continued, "I would have loved to continue working at Lucasfilm and build something special with Leslie, but sadly it didn't work out. This community is filled with toxicity and bigotry, and it's a tough challenge because these people are loud and make themselves seem like the majority. Just look at the reviews. Negative ones always seem to outweigh the positives and end up influencing the studio's decisions about our work." Before diving into more of what Turner-Smith had to say about her firing from Lucasfilm and her criticism of the fandom, let's address the bigger picture. This so-called Acolyte-verse created by Leslie Headland and Kathleen Kennedy. Here's where things get interesting. Turner-Smith frequently refers to the Star Wars fandom as being full of bigotry and toxicity. But is that really true? I don't believe so. Sure, there's always going to be a very small percentage of negativity, that tiny group that exists in every fan base. However, in my view, much of the criticism comes from passionate fans who care deeply about what they love. These are people who grew up with Star Wars in the 70s, 80s, 90s, and 2000s. They've seen how George Lucas's creation brought families and friends together over the years. That's why you have such strong opinions from fans. They want to protect the legacy they grew up with. It's a sad truth, but we've reached a point where many Star Wars fans just feel pathetic. It seems like a lot of people simply don't care anymore, and honestly, I'm one of them. I've completely checked out when it comes to feeling any real excitement for what's coming from Lucasfilm. Let's be real, there's not much to look forward to. Sure, The Mandalorian and Grogu still managed to capture some interest, but even that has become hit or miss. Beyond that, there's nothing. So many projects have been put on hold, and it's probably for the best. One example is the Rey Skywalker movie, which is on pause and will most likely end up being cancelled. Honestly, don't be shocked if that happens. Now, Turner-Smith wrapped up her statement with this. "It's just crazy that all this backlash is about our creation. I really hope that one day these so-called Star Wars fans will broaden their horizons and realize that characters like Mother Anissa were long overdue in a story like The Acolyte. Other characters, like May and Mother Coral, were incredible and represented a true evolution of the Force, way beyond what George Lucas did in the prequels. That's something to be proud of. Leslie truly accomplished something special, and I'm grateful that I'm getting offers from other brands that align with my beliefs, so maybe there's hope in those new ventures. Here's where things get even more intriguing. Turner Smith might be hinting at joining Star Trek, though that's not confirmed yet. What's really fascinating, though, is how she's not just criticizing the studios, she's also lashing out at the fans. It feels like she's in a freefall, struggling to accept the fact that most people, whether they're die-hard Star Wars fans or not, have rejected The Acolyte. Even casual viewers who gave it a chance were reportedly repulsed by it, calling it one of the worst shows they've ever seen, ranking it alongside the infamous final season of Game of Thrones, if not worse. And let's not forget Leslie Headland's role in this controversy. She's made several divisive comments about fandoms, particularly the Star Wars community. So it's no surprise that Turner Smith is acting out like this. At the end of the day, other cast members, like Amandla Stenberg, seem to share these same views. It's almost robotic, the way they all talk about the fans in this situation, using the same rhetoric. Now, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this whole situation at Lucasfilm. Do you think they can turn things around, or is it too late? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I'm really interested to see where you all stand on this.